Surprise, motherfucker. What's up? This is your friendly neighborhood Venture Satanist coming at you from my hotel room at GaryCon. I arrived about 11 a.m. on day one, Thursday. Usually I get here the day after, like on Fridays. And I stay over Friday night, Saturday night, and then I come home early Sunday afternoon. But I won't get into why. But this year I decided to do Thursday as well. So that was cool. It allows me to run more games. So as I've mentioned, I'm running 6 games this convention. So I ran 1 today, got 2 tomorrow on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then 1 before I go home. It's only an hour and 20-minute drive, so it's not a big deal. 1 on Sunday to close it out. And yeah, so I did the first game. It was good. I wrote, I would never know whether I should go what I would call the easy route and just run something that I wrote 6 months, a year, 2, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, or if I should come up with new material. And so sometimes I switch it up. I mix and match, do both kind of. But this time, I really wanted to run some new stuff. And so the last 4 days, maybe the last week, I started writing a new adventure. And so I got to showcase that today for the first time, which was cool. And I think it went really well. It's easy running Chalt because whatever gaps there are to fill in, I can do that because I know the world like the back of my tentacle, and I can just kind of riff and ad lib and improvise when needed. One person had heard of Chalt of the 6 players, but no one had heard of me or Advanced Crimson Dragon Slayer. They definitely didn't hear about the Chalt X cards or the Gilded Die of Satanus or VentureCon. I gave everybody a flyer and I told them to take advantage of the free downloads on DriveThruRPG. So maybe they'll do that. I briefly ran over the rules and then handed everybody a roster of pre-generated characters, which is what I did last year, and that worked well. These are all new characters, 9 in total. I feel that's a good variety for 6 players. That way, the last guy to choose isn't stuck with the last pre-generated character. He still has a choice between 3. So I explained as I was asking. I did a little survey before the game started, and just because I wanted to know how familiar they were with either me or the material, like the rule set or the campaign setting, and so I explained the Chult X cards and what that does, and the Gilded Die. We didn't use the Gilded Die once, but we used the Chult X cards. I think six of the 8 got used, and they just just ranged for all kinds of things. At one point, okay, let me interject this. So I find, and this kind of goes, this is something I kind of had to learn to unlearn. And I don't know if this is just something that I pick up on and I run with, that I'm sure most people don't, because I don't really hear about this too much. But when some sort of rule or system or mechanic is supposed to work a certain way, but the way I've lightly explained it at the beginning, or I'm not going to go through an exhaustive like laundry list of like this is exactly how this mechanic works in every situation. I just give people the basics, and based on those basics, if people sort of interpret it a certain way and the gameplay just kind of flows in a certain direction naturally, I won't, generally speaking, I won't interrupt things and be like, no, 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 that's not how it works. It's actually more like this. If people are grokking it in their own way and they're using it, maybe not the letter, but the spirit of how it's intended, it goes, like I said, organically in a different direction than the way I wrote it or the way I thought it up like a week, a month, a year ago, 10 years ago. I'm not going to stop people. And generally speaking, I'm not going to be like, no, 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 you're wrong. Or it's actually like more like this. If it helps, I will. But like today with the Chult X cards, it started out with, I would give people a reroll. Like people would want to, and this happened in the Chult campaign too, my home game. If people failed in an attempted action, then the Chult X card, stimulating one of those, would give them another chance. But instead of like a reroll, sometimes if they did that and I came up with something or someone else chimed in and we came up with some cool narrative touch to tap into the pop culture or the sleaze or the grindhouse exploitation, then we just assume that character succeeds, or that they're instead of failure, they're going to be able to do what they want to do. But then the stimulation is kind of like a weird cost side effect thing that counterbalances the maybe not auto success. Maybe it's a success with like yes, but type thing. That was kind of a tangent, but I feel that's important for me as a game designer and a game master, that if things are flowing a certain way, sometimes it's better to just let them flow that way than to kind of switch gears or halt the game or go outside of the gameplay to re-explain a rule so it can be used in the way it was written, which might be in certain circumstances more laborious than it needs to be. But yeah, the Chult X cards, that went pretty fantastic. I think people like that a lot. I try to come up with cool, interesting reference, like spot on. I want to say cogent, but it's such a word. I tried to come up with something that was relevant to the situation and the circumstances, and that lent itself to Chult or whatever the watchword was. If it's Eldritch, Gonzo, science fantasy, you know the deal. And we came up with some doozies. A lot of people laughed. My games are kind of comedy games. And so if people are laughing, that means I'm doing it right. That means I'm winning. That means we're all winning. And maybe when I blog about the convention, maybe I'll come up with, I'll actually write down a few. Let's see, for sleaze, there was they were taking these objects from this treasure vault, and they were trying to grab them before these death rays got them, and a lot of them people were failing their roll, or a lot of other things going on in that encounter or scene. For the sleaze, it was came up with There's like this mind control thing to create sex slaves. Um, the pop culture. Oh, I asked one of the survey questions was, what is one of your favorite movies that you would like to see referenced or parodied in the session? And someone said Pulp Fiction. And so, like, one of the guards that was coming anyway brought out the suitcase, opened it up. There was all this, like, gold light coming from it, and you get the idea. A lot of little things like that. So, yeah, six. Might have used some of the Child X cards, like, more than once. Some might have gotten, like a second use. There was a lot. It was like it got stimulated like 6-7 times throughout the 4 hour session. And yeah. Anyway, it was cool. And then I had an amazing dinner with Griff and one of his Blackmore friends, and that was awesome. Got to take a picture with Griff. Put that up on Twitter, so take a look at that. Might chat with more of those guys more later. Ran into a couple other people that it was great to see, and I said hi to. But today was just day one. I'm retiring early. It's like, I don't know, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna try to get some good shut eye. Maybe go to bed at like 10, because the next game I run is tomorrow at 9 a.m. So I want to get up, get breakfast, shower in the morning. So, yeah, early to bed, early to rise. That whole thing. Went through the dealer's room. It just seemed like a lot of stuff that I saw last year and the year before that. I saw one interesting set of dice. I like to pick up at least one set of dice every convention. And I saw one set, this modern art that was all like swirls and cool colors, that I thought about picking up. It was $12 for one set of dice, a set of 7. I don't know. I might go back. I might get that. I might not. Depends on what else I see. But I did one quick sweep of the whole dealer room, and I don't know. I didn't really see anything that jumped out at me that looked really, really cool, or I had to have, or I'd never seen anything like that before. It was all just kind of like stuff you see at every gaming convention, I guess. So, yeah, that's okay. But I'm looking forward to the other games and meeting new people, gaming with some awesome guys. And the guys that I gamed with today, the players, were great. They're from, I think, the Rockford area of Illinois. And they're all like friends and like in a gaming group together. So that was cool because they all had their own, they all vibed off each other because they know each other. And it wasn't so awkward like when everybody is new and nobody knows each other and it's all, like, hi, hello, just kind of awkward and stilted, and, nobody's that relaxed. So yeah, it was good. And they were great players, and they riffed off things and joked around. And, we got through the whole adventure in pretty good time. So, yeah, I was very pleased. It was good. It was all good stuff. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling now. It's 14 minutes. It's probably too long. All right, have a good night. Game on. And, yeah, I got to put more flyers out. I had to park way, way, way down there, and my game was in like 30 minutes. And by the time I actually got to the far, it's like I parked like a half a mile away from the convention. So I had all this stuff in my arms, and I could only take so much, so I only took like a handful of flyers. But tomorrow I'll have more, and I'll put some out, and I'll give more out to the players for tomorrow's game, and so all that good stuff. Okay. Signing off.